So, all of you guys who think I'm paid off by Roc Nation, y'all gonna think I'm y'all champion today. Let's get into it. United States District Court, Southern District of Florida. Demoree Hadley. And you can see all the people involved. You have Desiree Perez, Roc Nation, Iconic Creative, Daniel Bober, Natalie Anderson, Sig9 LLC, James Fondo, Stephen Caddy, Jessica Caddy, South Broward Hospital District, Odyssey Behavioral Healthcare, Life Skills South Florida, Outpatient LLC, Broward County Sheriff's Office. She going for it all. Jordan Dennis, Joseph Reyes, Rochelle Berenstein, CTS Research. Reply to Roc Nation's motion to strike Roc Nation's notice of filing declaration in support of motion regarding extrajudicial statements. Plaintiff Demoree, right? I think it's Demoree, my fault. Anyways, files this reply to Roc Nation's response to plaintiff's motion to strike Roc Nation's notice of filing declaration in support of motion regarding extrajudicial statements and states the following in support thereof. Reply. Demoree and her counsel share Roc Nation's sentiments that the parties have exhaustively briefed the crux of the issue, i.e., whether Desiree Perez, the chief executive officer of Roc Nation, is guilty of making or soliciting extrajudicial statements against her daughter Demoree. Therefore, this reply will also be short and straightforward. Y'all know that's what we need around here, right? Roc Nation claims that plaintiff falsely suggested that Roc Nation and its CEO were guilty of making or soliciting extrajudicial statements without any actual proof. DE 81, page 2. Roc Nation claims that Demoree attempted to make a cryptic comparison and that her evidence is speculative at best. Roc Nation wants a direct comparison and direct evidence. Here it goes. A blogger named Survivor1 posted several negative and derogatory videos and statements about Demoree and Javon, including a video that Desiree tactically claims she did not send. So I believe I seen this on freaking Twitter. I just didn't know if it was real or not. So here you go right here. It says there are a lot of pick-niches and delusional people in the comment section of the original post. What do y'all have to say about this man literally punching her in the head? Question mark. Desiree, get these hoes. Boom. So yeah, I think this was the person who originally put it out too. I'm fairly certain. And they say, I'm a mama. I will do whatever I need in order to protect my daughter. Desiree is protecting her daughter. Millargo, don't know what that is, because her mama a crackhead, in my opinion. After posting the video above, Survivor1 later appeared on a platform called Stationhead, a podcast where influencers provide information and listeners post comments. Recently, a podcaster named Lemsky was speaking about Demoree's lawsuit against Desiree. Survivor1 was listening, so you can see, I guess. Lemsky asked Survivor1, where did you get the video? Survivor1 posted in the comments that Desiree sent it to her from a burner account. So here you go right here. And it's showing this right here, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. This could be anybody, including Desiree herself. So here you go. Eyes emoji, I got it from Desiree. Girl directly, eyes emoji. Sorry, Desiree. Yes. No. It was on a burner account. We say that. And we'll cause Candy will curse somebody out. I don't cuss in real life, but on SH. During another podcast, Survivor1 admitted that she worked for Roc Nation. Wait, what? Hold on. It say, that's why I work for Roc Nation, because I posted her line on that man. She's not interested. Whoa, Demoree has proved more than sufficient evidence to show that Desiree hired or retained people to post negative comments about her before silencing Demoree. This court should require Desiree to swear under oath, not through some uninformed third-party investigator paid by her, that she never hired or engaged bloggers to make extrajudicial statements about Demoree. If Desiree refuses to do it, then the court should not entertain her frivolous attempt to silence Demoree for something that Desiree, 1, started, 2, actively engaged in, 3, is misrepresented to the court, 4, is trying to cover up. Napoleon Law Firm. Whoa. And then y'all can see the certificate of service. That's crazy. I hereby certify on this, I don't know, man, bro, it's early as hell. I'm so sorry. I hereby certify that on this 19th day of June 2025, I electronically filed the foregoing document with the clerk of the court using CM/ECF, which serve the parties who are currently on the list to receive email notice/service for this case, and that I served all counsel or parties who are not authorized to receive electronically notices of electronic filing in some other authorized manner, if applicable. If what she says is true, if what Demoree says is true about Survivor 1 and this preempted attack to basically sway public opinion, because it actually did help sway public opinion, because even I was sitting back like, ooh, I might want to stay out of this one. I don't know. This could be Stockholm Syndrome. This could be this. This could be that, you know. And them videos pretty damaging. I ain't going to hold you. The video is pretty bad. I sat back and I played the sidelines. But basically, that right there is just a little bit scary. This damn thing won't come off, bro. What the hell? Basically, bro, I'm going to be fair. If that's true, Roc Nation, in my opinion, because I'm not a judge, I'm not a lawyer, I play a hood lawyer on YouTube. How you doing? My name's Sadie Nash. If that stuff is true, bruh, y'all would be, because y'all CEO on company time made them do what she wanted them to do with the company's power. That's on y'all. See, now Desiree Perez is now fighting a front on two ends. What you mean, Sadie Nash? If she loses this, Roc Nation is going to sue her flat out, because they knew none of this stuff, even though people are going to say, well, they should have known and all this stuff. Let's be fair, bro. If you worked in any type of job and a manager tells another coworker to do something, you're not going to sit up here and realistically blame the regional manager. You're just not. They don't have the proximity. They don't have the day-to-day. And even a regional manager, if they decided to do something with somebody that was a staff, that doesn't mean the manager knows, but it definitely still harms the overall company if it's on company time, because they're supposed to set certain parameters to prevent this stuff. But a human mind and human emotions, Lord knows where they follow when people are provoked or want to provoke or use their powers for evil. So what ends up happening? Well, Roc Nation decided to say, we gonna jump on out this goddamn pool. And they hit back with this. And then y'all can see Demoree Hadley, plaintiff, and then Desiree Perez. And this is Roc Nation jumping up saying, hey, hold on. We gonna move to dismiss counts 2 and count 16 against Demoree Hadley, right? And it basically says Roc Nation, it says that the court should dismiss counts 2 and 16 against Roc Nation with prejudice because plaintiff was unable to amend her complaint to cure any of the numerous deficiencies Roc Nation demonstrated in its motion to dismiss the complaint. Then it goes down to say plaintiff alleges a dispute between herself and her mother, defendant Desiree Perez, arising from allegedly tortious and unlawful acts, basically meaning wrongful acts. I mean, tortious meaning wrong, basically. Perez took to protect and separate plaintiff from her abusive husband. In addition to being plaintiff's mother, Perez is also CEO of Defendant Roc Nation. Plaintiff improperly attempts to extend the alleged liability for this personal dispute to Roc Nation by alleging that Roc Nation was engaged in a civil conspiracy under Florida law, count 2, and violated the Stored Communications Act. In support of count 2, plaintiff alleges that Roc Nation employees Perez and defendant Natalie Anderson engaged in a conspiracy to have plaintiff temporarily detained pursuant to the Baker Act by providing plaintiff's therapist, Dr. Luz Burrio, with a recording of a woman screaming, "Don't arm me," and falsely telling Dr. Burrio that the woman in the recording was plaintiff. In support of count 16, plaintiff alleges that Roc Nation violated the SCA because Perez may have directed some unnamed members of Roc Nation's technical staff to hack her iCloud account in effort to convince others that plaintiff should be detained pursuant to the Baker Act. Plaintiff allegedly detected the hacking when an unauthorized clone device was added to her iCloud account and was pinging from the address of Roc Nation's headquarters. Summary of argument. Plaintiff fails to adequately allege personal jurisdiction over non-resident defendant Roc Nation, which she alleged is a New York company. Plaintiff did not allege general or specific personal jurisdiction over Roc Nation, did not even cite or refer to Florida's long-arm statute. Moreover, plaintiff did not allege that Roc Nation acted in Florida or directed any conduct to Florida that arises from her claims. They basically saying this was supposed to be federal if it was a thing, because Florida don't got the arm to reach out here aka ain't got the jurisdiction. Even if plaintiff had adequately alleged personal jurisdiction, she failed to allege a viable claim against Roc Nation. Plaintiff's conspiracy claim fails for several independent reasons, including that is barred by the intra-corporate conspiracy doctrine. Moreover, plaintiff's conspiracy claim seeks to extend liability to Roc Nation based on plaintiff's claim under 42 U.S.C. 1983, Section 1983 against Perez. That claim fails as a matter of law because Section 1983, by its terms, is not actionable against private actors such as Roc Nation. Further still, plaintiff failed to and cannot allege that she suffered any damages arising from her conspiracy claim and the underlying Section 1983 claim because she admits that the purported act of providing Dr. Berrio with the allegedly fraudulent recording did not cause her to be detained under the Baker Act. Damn. So they saying that recording ain't the reason why your ass got thrown in there. Plaintiff's SCA claim fails because the SCA bars the imposition of secondary liability. The plaintiff failed to and cannot allege that Perez and the unidentified tech team were acting in the scope of their employment when they allegedly hacked plaintiff's iCloud account. Plaintiff's admission in amended complaint foreclose any possibility that she may amend her complaint to state a viable claim against Roc Nation. Accordingly, Roc Nation respectfully requests that the court dismiss Roc Nation from this lawsuit with prejudice. Argument: the court lacks personal jurisdiction over Roc Nation. Rule 12b2 standard. A plaintiff seeking to establish personal jurisdiction over a non-resident defendant bears the initial burden of alleging in the complaint sufficient facts to make out a prima facie case of jurisdiction. We ain't finna do all that. The plaintiff's failure to allege a prima facie case of personal jurisdiction ends the inquiry. That's insane. And basically, a prima facie is based on the first impression accepted as corrected until proven otherwise. So basically, it's the first impression. You're going to have to take me at face value, and then they're going to have to come through and prove it, which is insane, but whatever. Notwithstanding, whether a court has a general or specific jurisdiction over a defendant, the exercise of personal jurisdiction over a defendant must comport with due process. Personal jurisdiction is governed by Florida's long-arm statute, and the federal question cases arising under federal statute silent as to the service of process Rule 4E of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure requirements that we determine both jurisdiction and service of process using state amendability standards, that is, the state's long-arm statute. Here, plaintiff brings a claim against Roc Nation pursuant to 18 U.S.C. 2701 of the Federal Stored Communications Act. We ain't finna do all that. Plaintiff fails to allege personal jurisdiction over Roc Nation and absent exceptional circumstances which are not present or even alleged here, general personal jurisdiction over a company is limited to the company's state of incorporation or principle of place of business. The plaintiff forecloses any possibility of establishing general personal jurisdiction over Roc Nation by alleging that it is a state of incorporation and headquarters are in New York. They're actually not. That's funny. Even I know that shit. Where plaintiff alleges that defendant was organized under Delaware law and failed to allege defendant's principal place of business. Taxes, other laws in Delaware that you can get away with. Yeah, she kind of messed that one up right there, but I get it. Florida's long-arm statute provides for specific personal jurisdiction when a defendant engages in any of non-enumerated acts as long as the cause of action arises from the act. We're not finna do all that. We're just gonna scroll down a little bit more. We're just gonna read the bolden words. Plaintiff failure to allege a viable claim against Roc Nation bars the proper exercise of personal jurisdiction over Roc Nation in Florida. And then basically that's what they keep on saying. They're basically saying that Florida can't even do this. Plaintiff fails to allege its civil conspiracy claim against Roc Nation. And y'all know when it's civil, basically it's money. And it says the two employees of Roc Nation, defendants Perez and Anderson, conspired to have plaintiff wrongfully detained pursuant to the Baker Act by providing plaintiff's therapist, Dr. Berrio, with a recording of a woman screaming, "Don't arm me," to intentionally cause plaintiff to suffer emotional distress by providing Dr. Berrio with its recording. For several reasons, plaintiff fails to state a claim for civil conspiracy. First, plaintiff's conspiracy claim is barred by we already read this. Hold on. Yeah, so all this stuff basically got handled, and what it is, yeah, we're not finna do all this shit. But y'all get the gist of it. Whoo-wee. They basically saying she ain't proved that the company was involved, and then we ain't even in your state, so y'all don't even have the reach to do that, and basically you didn't get held up because of what you allege that we allegedly even did. This ain't the reason. That's like somebody saying, "Oh, you did this and you did that to me, and then they went out and beat up a bunch of people, and then you going back and saying, well, hold on, it wasn't what I did to you, it was other stuff that had happened. But I would argue that it's the pile-on effect. That, yeah, what we did, that, yeah, what you did didn't directly lead to it, but damn it, y'all piled on. Y'all made the situation worse when y'all didn't have to get in at all. And I believe that's what the lawyers are going to argue any damn ways. They're going to try to hit them with the you should have known. And I don't know, like I say, I'm not a real lawyer, but you know, my understanding of the law is pretty good. If I'm the lawyers for Demoree, I'm looking at this like company dime, company time, company fined. It's on y'all asses. But then Roc Nation said, we gonna hit you with another one. Another one. And then y'all see, what's today's date? Today is the 22nd. So they sent this out yesterday. And this is from Roc Nation. Second supplement to expedited motion for special order regarding extrajudicial statements. That's crazy. She said, I'll do interviews until I can write, unless the court orders me to stop. Just really getting the word out. That's the best way you can really help. Demoree Hadley, June 19, 2025. True to her word, and very shortly after defendant Roc Nation filed its expedited motion for special order regarding extrajudicial statements, the motion and supplements to the motion, and after other parties filed notices of joinder in motion, as well as related responses, plaintiff Demoree Hadley has continued doing live interviews and posts inconsistently on social media platforms, including Instagram and X, about this litigation. And if there was any lingering doubt that Ms. Hadley would continue to make false statements about Roc Nation and its co-defendants to taint the jury pool, she has now confirmed she will do so until the court orders her to stop. That time has come, as Ms. Hadley should not be permitted to try this case in the media rather than in a courtroom. Indeed, in just the last week, Ms. Hadley made approximately 200 social media postings or reshares on X, a similar number of posts to Instagram, including on her Instagram story. In addition, since the NBC News 6 interview aired May 29, 2025, Ms. Hadley has done 4 additional interviews, which have generated a total of 1,176,809 views. Also, since June 6, 2025, with the help of other cyberworld personalities, mostly anonymous, but some named, Ms. Hadley's social media posts have been reposted hundreds of times, generating approximately 11,500 mentions, having a potential reach of approximately 128 million individuals across all social media platforms. Similarly, over the past 3 days, the hashtag #JusticeFordham has generated 6,900 mentions, having a potential reach of approximately 109 million individuals across all social media platforms. Oh. So she's saying that y'all did it, and y'all getting mad that she defending herself? Come on, bro. For the court's convenience, Roc Nation has attached hereto as Exhibit 1 a sampling of Ms. Hadley's most recent social media posts and the consequences of the posts, as evidenced by the posts of others taking Ms. Hadley's false statements at face value and disparaging the defendants litigating this case over social media. This is further proof that special court order that applies equally to all parties is required to limit extrajudicial statements regarding this lawsuit. Critically, any further delay will only permit Ms. Hadley's continuing relentless and improper daily stalking and bombardment of social media posts seeking to disparage and harass defendants. So y'all can see right here, here's Exhibit 1. When would a bullying stop? You admitted to working for Roc Nation, and you admitted you were asked to post negative things about Megaros and I. So y'all can see right here. We extended grace despite being abused, harassed, bullied, threatened, falsely imprisoned, falsely accused, etc. She blocked my number from my grandfather's phone, instructing people to not allow me to speak to him. Enough is enough. For over 1 year, I've tried to avoid this. Receipts below. I can't see that shit. Let's get back to it. So, me, myself, I believe Tory Lanez shot Megan Thee Stallion. This is the same play that they did on Tory with the gag order. That's essentially what you just read was a gag order to be enforced. They like, hey, we don't want her out here making any false claims or anything like that against us, but shit, there was a burner account making false claims against her, allegedly. So there were other like screenshots and stuff like that, but it was just stuff that I just felt like it'd be piling on in this video is already long enough. So, yeah, they're saying we want you to put a gag order. And this is the reason why y'all probably like, well, if their case was so damn good for them to have that motion to strike, why would they even trip on this? Because just in case a judge from Florida may feel like, judges do have feelings. Man, F New York, F Delaware, F y'all East Coasters, we down south. They may be able to hear the side of the plaintiffs because they're going to have to file a motion on this one or a response, and we'll see how that goes. But as it stands right now, it's just funny to see how this all plays itself out. What are my final thoughts on this one, though? Y'all hit that like button like you like something, man. Since y'all think I'm part of Roc Nation, this kind of goes against Roc Nation. I think that this right here is one of those things where mother-daughter spat gone bad. Mother knows best, allegedly. Daughter knows best, allegedly. And it clashed to a head. Why her mom did this, I have no damn idea. I just don't. In one instance, you can understand if your daughter was being abused and manipulated, held against her will, because you don't want to wake up to some knocks at the door and a cop with his hat in his hand and telling you how your baby girl just took her last breath at the hands of her husband. If you don't understand that and you can't get that, then, hey, I don't know what to tell you. But on another hand, if somebody's so manipulative and so controlling that they could do things like this too, you have to fight back. So there's that part of it too. All of this stuff is alleged, and I'm not taking nobody's side because we're not them. We're just opinionists with facts presented to us. Well, with items presented to us that we speculate on, and then we try to basically say what happened at the end. But if this is true on her part, then cool. But if I'm Desiree Perez, once again, I'm looking at everything like, bruh, this shit about to come crashing down as far as her job goes. There are too many instances where it's her face right there and then a bunch of bullshit. And y'all know these companies are never against cutting the heads off their CEOs and getting somebody else. I remember Disney and Bob Iger fell out and he had to go. Y'all remember Dan Schneider and all them cats, they had to go. So even when you get the CEO like Kevin Feige over there, he can be let go if it starts to look bad over there. They're going to start to say, this is your fault. So you could be a chief executive officer, but that board, those people who invest their money, those people who want to know everything, those people, they looking at you all type of different. This is why you always drag in the companies. You drag in the companies so that those board members say, hey, Johnny, this is bad for business. You're right. Hey, Bob, what do you think we should do? Well, I think we should settle. Go ahead and just settle out of here. And next thing you know, you get put in a Diddy situation where now you're sitting in the feds. Because if this is all true, the DA definitely has to look at this and go, we got to deter people from doing this. A lot of civil cases, what people don't know is a lot of civil cases can go to the DA when there's enough evidence whether the person wants to charge somebody or not. Just is what it is. So we will see, man. This one gets a little interesting, but y'all let me know your thoughts on this, and I'd be curious to see. And if you want more videos like this, let me know. Go hurry up and watch that Jim Jones video because I'm about to take that damn thing down.